All right, back for another beer review, and today I'm going to be reviewing a beer from the Oliver Brewing Company, and they are out of Baltimore, Maryland, and this is their Whipped Volume 3. They're calling this a Sour Raspberry Nitro Smoothie Ale. A lot going on. 5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed, and at the time of this review, this beer is about 2.5 months old, give or take a few days. And this is actually a collaboration with Stillwater Artisanal Ales. A lot of you guys know Stillwater out there. The owner, Brian Strumke, he's a gypsy brewer, and he is also a Baltimore native, so this collaboration makes sense. And this beer is a part of their Whipped series, which focuses on nitroed beers. So they have 4 within the series. This is the third. The first one was a stout. The second one was a milkshake IPA. And the fourth one, I believe, is also another sour beer. I don't know exactly what's in that one, though. So this is a Kettle sour that they're brewing with lactose and raspberries, and obviously it's in a nitro can. So yeah, you don't see too many breweries putting out nitro beers, so to have an entire series focusing on them, pretty cool. I can't think of another nitro sour that I've had. No, I really can't think of one. I've had a nitroed fruit beer before. One of my favorites off the top of the head is Founders Rubaeus. I had that on nitro once. Really, really tasty, I thought. So yeah, we'll see what a nitroed kettle sour tastes like, but I'm quite interested. Quite interested. I'm not interesting. I'm bored. Anyway, it says you can, what does it say? The can that you can shake. Yeah, it says give a gently shake the can to activate nitrogen, open and then invert can over your glass and pour hard, like, you know, most nitro beers. But I'm just gonna give it a gentle shake here. Just a gentle shake, nothing crazy. And then we'll crack it open using the Jester King glass. We'll see if this spews everywhere like so many nitro beers do. Doesn't look like it, so that's cool. We'll give it a hard pour here. I'm just gonna put it up like this and just hard pour. I use this glass because I know it can fit the entire can. And it did. Look at that. Beauty. Put this the can over here. But yeah, that looks beautiful. That looks like a raspberry beer. It has this fuchsia color to it. This like deep mahogany fuchsia color, almost purple. The head is a very light pink head, very creamy. Looks like a nitro beer. I mean, it plays the role. It's not opaque or anything. I mean, I guess it is slightly, it's actually pretty hazy, but not straight opaque. There's definitely a little bit of light coming through that, but yeah, plays the role of a nitroed raspberry beer, huh? And this is where nitros, so feel like nitro takes away flavors from beers. It dulls them out, it subdues them a bit, but it makes up for it with the creaminess from the mouthfeel, right? The smoothness. And I always have an issue pulling off aroma from nitro beers, mostly because they tell you to keep cold so the beer doesn't explode when you open it. And this is like 15, 20 minutes out of the fridge, so it's probably cooler than I want this to be, but I also didn't want to explode everywhere. Maybe I should just, review it at room temperature like Paul and just have it gush everywhere and then complain about it. Right, Paul? But yeah, I'm getting light raspberry hints to it, like a seedy raspberry. Definitely like a vanilla sweetness from the lactose more so than anything else. Yeah, it smells a bit sweeter than I anticipated, being a sour. But honestly, I'd be lying if I said I'm getting a big aroma here. It's some seedy raspberries, very light, a little bit of vanilla, maybe a slight acidic tone to it, but that's really it. And like the head dissipated. Usually they stick around with nitro beers, but whatever. Not gonna complain about it. Let's get into it. Cheers. Yeah, it's all right. It's what you expect from a nitro beer. It's creamy, it's smooth, If you've ever had a nitro beer, if you've ever had a Guinness, and I think most people have, similar. It's just maybe not as creamy, but it's there. Very easy to drink at 5%. Here's the thing though. Like I was saying about the nitro beer subduing flavors, that's kind of what it's doing here. You're getting this slightly acidic tart raspberry, and it's sticking around on the palate a little bit. A little bit of that lactose sweetness that's verging on a vanilla character, and then maybe a little bit of like a malt sweetness too. It's sweeter than I anticipated. This is slightly tart as opposed to anything else. I mean, I would be able to tell you this was sour if I did this blind, but at the same time, it's one of the weakest sours in terms of, you know, how pungent and how vibrant the sour character here is that I've had in a long time. That said, I'm enjoying it. I mean, it has a nice balance between the sweetness and the tartness, more sweet than tart. You know, the raspberry character is there. The nitro is adding that creamy, smooth mouthfeel to it. The body, at 5%, it's like higher second light body. It is incredibly thin, but it's 5%. Kind of expect that. Yeah, I might have no problem drinking the rest of this. This is actually, it's solid. There's nothing wrong with this. If you go into this beer thinking you're gonna get 17 billion different flavors, wrong beer for you. Basically, it's the raspberry, a little bit of lactose, a little bit of malt sweetness, and the nitro is doing its job. So, you know, personal enjoyment, I'm going to give Whipped Volume 3 from Oliver and Stillwater, give it a 3.5 out of 5. I mean, I enjoy it for what it is, but, you know, I'd want this to be a bit more tart, borderline sour. I'd want more complexity. I just want a little bit much. This is just kind of like an easygoing drinking beer. If you are really into the very acidic and just like enamel ripping sour beers, definitely not for you. But then again, going into this one, they're calling it a nitro raspberry smoothie and all this stuff. You're probably not expecting that out of this beer. But 3.5 out of 5 is a solid score. Nothing wrong with it. So that was Whipped Volume 3 from Oliver Brewing Company in collaboration with Stillwater Artisanal Ales. 3.5 out of 5 for me. And appreciate you guys stopping by for another review. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, cheers.